So this is the data science challenge here. We have a multivariable model that we have to consider. We have time series data. We have seasonality on the weather variables, and we have power curves as well that we have to consider for all of these generators. So because of the time series and nature of these data, we are using what is called the ARIMA project model. So in this specific case, we are using the time series data, and we are using the actual typical data science stack to not only clean and process all of these joins and data. So just back to the original problem, we have multiple data silos. We have multiple third parties that are bringing into the table a set of variables that we have to consider for this problem. But at the same time, we will have quality issues. We will have icing problems. David, but you want to mention what is the icing and how it looks like? What is the icing? Can you explain that in like in a sentence?
Yeah. So in terms of when you're collecting data, then you know if there's a situation where there's high humidity and freezing weather, the sensors can be covered in ice,
Mm-hmm.
and then so you know even though the wind may be blowing a lot, you're going to get readings of zero.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the data management techniques is to try to filter out that data uh, and try to determine when you have that icing data, so you don't end up with some false zeros where it looks like you're not having any wind, but you really are.
Exactly. So all of the process of having clean data and controlling those quality issues, removing the null values that are coming from the icing or from the sensors when you have these kind of situations, all of that becomes key when you are trying to apply data science techniques, right? You have to work with a clean set of data that you can actually trust, and the data that you understand and you understand how it looks like, for you to be able to produce an outcome. So what you are seeing here is the combination of everything that we had mentioned so far. But the beauty of what you are seeing here is that we are able to see into the future, right? So what we are showing in the screen right now is that time series data from the weather conditions. And in this case, we already have power, right? So we have the generation of power. We see the correlation with the actual weather conditions, but now we are able to be one step ahead, and we have an actual versus predicted variable here. So we can actually see, okay, if I locate my wind farm in this specific area, what kind of power predictions will I have for the next 3 months, understanding the time series, the data seasonality, the ARIMA modeling techniques, and everything else that we have to do for this to happen, right? Which is we're putting all of this together.